Hi everyone, welcome to Heaven Healing and Tarot. This is Christina, and today's pick a card is who is our future spouse. So we'll take a look at their personality, when maybe they're coming in, or what has happened in their life, how they feel, or maybe some ways to recognize them. Before I get started, I always send out some healing. Take a deep breath with me. Alright, pile 1 we have engagement, pile 2 retreat, pile 3 wedding, pile 4 children. Take a moment, pick the pile you are most drawn to, and we'll see what comes out. Okay, pile 1, if you chose engagement, then this one's going to be your reading. Let's put this aside for a second, get some tarot first, and we'll go from there. Alright, here we go. I should probably pull it up. There we go. 2 of Pentacles, Justice, 2 of Wands, 5 of Cups, the Hierophant. All right. So I'm getting the feeling that your person is pretty well balanced. I mean, look, we have 2, 2, 2. They're not really twos, but like this is a balance card, this is a balance card, and this can be considered a balance card, picking 2 paths. So I kind of feel like your person is pretty well balanced, pretty fair, pretty just, honest. But somebody who can roll with the punches, you know, somebody who's able to deal with whatever life throws at them. Somebody who could be willing to take some risks at times to achieve their goals, depending on how big of a risk that is. But I feel like your person kind of tends to have luck on their side, like things tend to work out for them. So that's why they're not afraid to take a risk sometimes, because in the past they've paid off. I feel like your person is good-natured, very good-natured, and at times can be sarcastic, but in a fun way. I do believe that they believe in the consequences of their actions, though. So that's why I think they're, in general, they're a really good, decent person. Because they know that every, action has a reaction or a consequence, right? So they make their decisions pretty carefully. I feel like they're good with words. Like, I kind of feel like they're a smooth talker. Like, they know how to talk their way out of something or around something, or they're good at like changing the subject if they don't want to discuss something. I do feel like they're practical. I think they are cautious but romantic at heart. So like I said, they're willing to take risks, but they're not willing to be overly dramatic with those risks. They're going to take calculated risks. But I do feel like they are a natural leader, and they have charisma and charm. I feel like people kind of like your person. Like they're like, say you introduce them to somebody they've never met before, they're going to tell you, the feedback you're going to get is, I like them, they seem like a good person, they seem like they're fun. So people are going to like them. This is somebody who is willing to work hard to make their dreams come true. They probably could be a little competitive at times even. This person has been through some kind of a loss. So this could be, somehow a way for you to recognize them. Like they've either had a really bad breakup, a divorce, or they've lost somebody who's very important to them. But they do carry a little bit of sadness and And I think that's helps them to be more fair, because they're like, you know, life is short, or helps them to take risks, because they know that, you know, life can change in an instant. Oh, sorry, hang on. Okay, just wanted to shut the door in case they start barking out again. Barking at my neighbor walking their dog. Okay, so, you know, they know that their life can change. You know, nothing is ever really set in stone. Energy changes, and even though we have good intentions to have great things in our life, sometimes, you know, plans fail. You know, relationships fail, and we lose people. So your person has been through something. But all in all, your person is such a good, decent person. They're just kind-hearted. They're loving. They're generous. They're fair. They're balanced. You know, they don't have too high of highs, but they don't have too low of lows either. So they're pretty, in general, pretty stable. Somebody you can count on. Somebody you can lean on. Somebody who's going to be there for support. Now with the Hierophant here, you know, that could indicate that you're getting married. And of course that was our intention, to see who your future spouse is. But they could also be somebody who's somewhat of a leader, somewhat of a teacher or a mentor. Somebody who gives really great advice. Somebody that people want to follow. People want to listen to. So they would make a great preacher or minister, or even public speaker, because they're, for some reason, I feel like they're believable. I don't know. But let's get some more cards. 9 of Pentacles and the Hermit. Could this person be a Virgo? It's possible. 9 of Pentacles. I feel like that's just saying, like, remember I said something about they tend to be lucky, they tend to have luck on their side. Again, I think 9 of Pentacles is speaking to that. Like, they're not afraid to work hard, and therefore they have big benefits. So I feel like financially they are stable. They're pretty independent. They can take care of themselves, and they're willing to share that wealth with the people that they love. Now, Hermit, again, it kind of speaks to the Hierophant a little bit here, where they're very wise, maybe an old soul, kind of like somebody who kind of knows the right thing to do and tries to follow that path. But it's also somebody who's always searching for answers, somebody who's looking for the higher purpose or a better way to do things. They're just smart, basically. And, you know, with the 5 of Cups here, having that sadness, I don't know what they're barking at now, sorry. But with that sadness here, like, they have that longing to know things, to understand, you know, maybe why certain things happen, things like that. So, all right, let's get some more cards. You have Break the Chain, Ancestral Patterns. I'm sorry. I think my neighbor's dog, a different neighbor's dog, came into my yard. And I think they're going crazy because they're running back and forth. And I would put you on pause, but I really want to get through this video. So I'm trying not to be distracted. I hope they're not distracting you too much. You are breaking the chain, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future. So I feel like their future now isn't what they had originally planned. Like, something happened that changed their life. That made them go on a different course. They have to choose a different path. So they are rewriting their future. So it kind of feels like maybe they were married and they thought that it was a forever thing. They really, really did. but something happened and it didn't work out. Or maybe they lost their spouse or significant other. And, now things have to change. And so they are rewriting their future. And maybe that's why they've been searching for answers and why they've been looking for help. Maybe they've been praying or meditating a lot to get those answers. But they are now on a different path. And I think they're going to make the most of it. I don't think this person is going to be like sad and depressed. I think this person's like, all right, that happened, so now we have to deal with it and move on. Find out how to live without that. So I really do think that they have a level head on their shoulders. Liberation. The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. So there they go. They're free of those fears. Like they've conquered them. So yeah, they might have been afraid of what the future held after whatever happened. But they've conquered their fear. They know that they can go on. They know that they have a life to live. And they know this life can be beautiful. So they feel this little bit of liberation, this freedom. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger and resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. So again, I think this is what they did. They've let go of the anger towards that circumstance, or that person. They've let go of it. So they're able to move on now. They're ready for you. All right, so this card is engagement. Well, we know that you're going to get engaged because this is your future spouse. But I just feel like this person's like, I want to say they're going to be committed to you. And of course they're going to be committed to you if they ask you to marry them, or you ask them to marry them. But they are like committed to you in so many more. It's more than just that. More than just we're going to be partners in this life. It's more like they're committed to your happiness. They're committed to your successes. They're committed to you for, just more, your dreams, your goals. They're going to be your support system. And I think it's going to be reciprocated. I think you're going to be theirs as well. But it just feels like there's a real bond here, a real support system here, I guess. I just think this person's going to be your rock. And that feels good. That feels really good. The fairy ring. New skills, advanced training, and rapid improvements. So, rapid improvements. Maybe that just means that their life is rapidly improving because they're attracting you into their life. You know that they've made improvements to their life. They've gotten over the hurt and they've healed. So, and they've done it pretty quickly, it feels like. So I think that's why they're ready for you. Time to replenish. Yeah, their well was empty. Their well's been empty after whatever happened. Right? So now they're realizing it's time to replenish it. It's time to live again. It's time to get our mojo back. And that's what they're doing. And when you come into a relationship with this person, it's going to feel good on all sides, both sides. The pathway, direction, purpose, and change. Yeah, I think that's just speaking to their direction changed. Their purpose has changed. And through no fault of their own. I kind of feel like it wasn't their fault. Like whatever happened to them, not necessarily because of them. But they've got a good attitude about it. Of course they had to feel what they needed to feel about it, but I feel like they really picked themselves back up and dusted themselves off and, just said, you know what? Can't change what happened, so let's move forward. Let's find a way to be happy. Let me pull you some initials. All right, pile one. That's what I got. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. All of those things help me, and I appreciate you for it. Till next time, love and light. Hi, pile two. If you chose retreat, then this one's going to be your reading. Let's put this aside and get some cards for now for you, and we'll come back to that. 8 of Wands, Lovers, King of Pentacles, King of Wands. Oh, I like that combination. And 9 of Wands. All right, so 8 of Wands. That tells me that your person is highly motivated. So they are probably going to be highly motivated to make you happy, to make your dreams come true. They're probably goal-oriented, not afraid of change, somebody who wants to travel and see the world, somebody who is a little bit more of a quick pace in life, you know, someone who knows how to, who's really good at, multitasking and juggling commitments, and they might, do really well in competitions. You know, they might be that type of person, but they're also going to be very loving and very passionate, being the Lovers came out to describe them. So, yeah, this is somebody you're going to have a deep bond with. You're really going to connect, and at least there's going to be a lot of passion here, a lot of excitement for each other. I feel like the King of Pentacles is a leader who has a lot of ambition, but they're also very generous. They're rich with material goods because they've earned them. So this is somebody who knows how to enjoy his life and you know, uses his wealth to enrich others as well. You know, this is the type of person who's going to think it's not fun to be rich alone. They're going to want to share the wealth a little bit here and have friends to do things. So they're probably somebody who pays for other people's vacations and stuff so that they're not doing it alone. But he does come by his wealth very honestly, and he's willing to give generously. I just feel like your person, it could be maybe a little bit older, maybe, or just act a little sophisticated, because they're very secure. They're very secure in who they are. And, you know, other people tend to depend on them because they're competent and reliable and generous. You know, that's the thing you have to watch out for, though. They might tend to get taken advantage of from time to time, but not in an overly bad way, but, you know, the friends might say, if we go out to dinner, so-and-so will always pick it up. So, you know, and that might annoy you at times. It's quite possible. So just keep that in mind. It's just, but your person's a good person and they don't care. I feel like your person will fight tirelessly to achieve their goals and defend their beliefs. I feel like they are passionate at times. You know, the King of Pentacles can be kind of boring, but I think the King of Wands balances them out. So I kind of feel like this person could be a Gemini, to be honest with you. I feel like they have multiple personalities. Not literally, but, you know, different sides to their personality that show through at different times depending on what's going on. I do feel like they're friendly and confident and persuasive. So I think that they get their way a lot because they are charming and sexy and fun. So I think you're going to enjoy this person a lot. I think the Nine of Wands describes your person as having unlimited potential, you know, able to achieve their dreams, staying strong when faced with challenges. You know, they can, I think they get determined, you know, focused. So it does definitely sound like a Gemini. It sounds like I'm describing my daughter. So yeah, I kind of feel like it might be a Gemini for some of you. Now, it doesn't have to be at all. They could just be embodying Gemini traits. Or, you know, my daughter can be unique. I just associate her traits with Geminis because, you know, that's who she is. But I'm not an astrologist. I wish I was. I wish I had the patience to learn more. I know astrology is a science, and it's something I could learn. It's just nothing I've taken the time to learn. You know, I'm just an intuitive reader. I read the cards and I get what I feel. I say what I feel. But anyway, let's get back to your reading. We have Four of Wands, so your person definitely wants commitment. And with this, you know, that's a family celebration. That's something that's going to make you happy. So I really do feel like your person is the person for you. I feel like you are going to have a happy family, and I feel like everybody's going to be happy in this situation. Six of Cups, material and spiritual prosperity. I already felt that with the King of Pentacles that your person is financially stable and very generous. But, you know, the Six of Pentacles is a charity card, you know. Someone who's willing to be generous with others. Somebody who's willing to balance the scales in some way. So I feel like your person's a good person. I feel like they will meet you in the middle. If not, they'll go above and beyond. You know, just make sure you always reciprocate. That's all. Be generous with them too, because they deserve it. Because they're a good person. All right, let's get a few more. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Oh, yeah, this is speaking that your person tends to do more for others than they do for themselves. I think they want to make people happy. I think part of their goal is to be happy with other people. I think they're very social creatures, kind of. And it doesn't have to be like social in a way that would normally, how that would normally be described. It could be, they could be focused on one person. That one person could be you. So they're going to put your happiness above their own. But, you know, I do feel like they are social people, and they probably have a lot of friends and have a lot of occasions to go to and all. But I also feel like they're not going to be afraid to be alone with you. You know, they're going to enjoy alone time with you. They're going to enjoy just being in your company. Reframe. This is happening for me, not to me. I just get the feeling that your person is so generous that they don't really sweat the small stuff. Like if somebody does them wrong, they don't take it to heart too much. I don't feel like they let people take advantage of them, but I feel like they're like more generous than others. I feel like they're more forgiving than others. Oh, they didn't really mean it. And I think you will point out, oh, yes, they did. Look what, and then they kind of like just brush it off. Go with the flow. They don't hold a grudge. They're just kind of, you know, they kind of reframe it because they like people and they want to be liked and they don't want to be lonely and they don't want to not have friends. So they're, you know, they're generous. They're just very generous. And again, I don't feel like I feel like they can get taken advantage of at times, but for the most part, I think they're a strong enough leader. They embody two kings here that they know, they're well aware of, and there are certain things they'll allow people to get away with, and there's certain things they won't. So they're not stupid. They just, they keep the peace when they can. Sorry, I was yawning. Birthday. A significant birthday holds the answers to your question. Okay, so pile 2, I kind of feel like you guys might be the same sign. You might be, your birthdays might be close together. You might be born in the same month. You might be both Geminis. I just kind of feel that. I don't know why, but that's what I'm getting from that card, that from your birthday. I mean, it could mean that, around your birthday, that's when you're going to meet this person, or that's when you're going to get engaged, or things of that nature. But for the most part, I kind of just feel like you both are like the same. And Gemini, the lovers do represent Gemini, so it's coming out strongly here and here and here. So I kind of feel like you're both Geminis. I don't know why, but that's what I'm feeling. And again, that's not, of course, not going to be for everybody, because it's just not. But that's what I'm getting. I thought I'd point it out. The time has come to act. The time to act is now. See, I kind of feel like that's not describing anything. I think that's describing your person in a way that when things come up, they deal with it now. They don't really put it off. They're not really a procrastinator. They kind of like, let's just get this over with. Let's do it now. Because they don't like things hanging over their head. They don't like having to worry about having to get something done later. They just kind of do it. Let's just do it. It's kind of how I feel. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Well, see, this makes me feel like I said, like, your person's not afraid to be alone with you. They're social people, but they also are going to love alone time with you, focusing all on you, spending a lot of time on you. So you guys will retreat. At times. Sorry. Yawning a lot. Detox, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Now with this card, what I'm feeling from this card is that your person, again, is your rock. They're going to be your support system. They will heal your mind, body, and spirit. Like, if you're sad, this person will help you become unsad. They'll do things to cheer you up, or they'll do things to distract you, to take your mind off of it. If you had a really hard day at work, they'll go buy you flowers, or they'll do something nice for you. They'll take you to dinner. I just kind of feel like that's what your person's going to do to you. They're going to relax you. When you're all hyped up over something, they're going to be your calm. They're going to balance you out. And I think you'll do the same for them. But I just really think that you're going to be able to lean on this person more than you might like to, but they're just going to be there for you. They're just your person. I kind of love it. Spirit of spring, freedom, action, and power. For spring is all about growth and renewal, but for some reason I'm getting the time frame. I think something very important is going to happen in the spring. Maybe that's when you'll get engaged, or maybe that's when you'll get married. But I don't know. I just feel like the springtime is important for you for some reason. I'm feeling it as a time period. They're giving me chills, so they're confirming what I'm saying. So I'm just going to leave it. You take it how it resonates for you. Let's pull you some initials. E, C, D, M, O, L, P, H, Q. see them? Sorry, they're too far off camera. Anyway, that is what I have for you, Pile 2. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. All those things help me, and I appreciate you for it. Until next time, love and light. Alright, Pile 3. If you chose wedding, then this one is going to be for you. Let's put this aside for a few minutes, get a few more cards, then we'll come back to that. What is this? 4 of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. The Fool. Alright, well, what I'm picking up is that your person kind of feels dissatisfied with life or their current state of being. I just kind of feel like there's more to life, like, or enough is never enough. Like, they never make enough money. They always want more things. Like, they're always trying to achieve the next goal. I don't know. I don't want to say this person, like, because that kind of makes them sound like a bad person, and they're not, because I kind of feel like I was this way when I was younger. Like, I was always looking for more. Like, yeah, I achieved great things, but it was never enough, and it was because I didn't know how to be happy. And, you know, with time and age and experience, you learn that. You learn how to be happy. I don't know. So I kind of feel like this person could be a little bit younger or young. I don't know. But it doesn't have to be. I guess it doesn't. But I do feel like your person is an excellent team player. I think they are good with communication skills. I think they probably like to create things with their hands or work with their hands. They might be like into gardening or crafting or painting or something. They probably, if they don't do that for work, they might do that as a hobby. And I feel like they do have integrity. And I do feel like they have really good problem solving skills. So they are a help to others, and they are good listeners. So again, I really do feel like your person's a good person. I just feel like they always kind of want more. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because that gives you motivation to get more sometimes. I don't know. I think it's a fine line. Like, you have to be happy, but wanting more is okay. I always say that when you're manifesting. You have to be happy with what you have, but wanting more is okay too on top of it. So you just have to be grateful for what you have, but wanting more of what you already have. So I think it's okay. The Ace of Swords tells me that your person's very clever. Probably has some really good ideas at times. But for the most part, they're smart. They try to use logic to solve the problems. They could be competitive. They probably are perfectionists. They probably strive to be the best at everything they do because they always want more, or they always want to do better, you know. They probably can't sit still for long. They probably always have to be doing something. Or they're the type of person that, like, while they're watching TV, they're still moving their hands. So they could be like crocheting or cross-stitching or diamond painting or I don't know, something, you know, folding socks, matching socks or something. I feel like they're always doing something. They probably get lost in their thoughts at times when they have too much time on their hands. They're probably a little bit of a dreamer. Again, always thinking that they want more, dreaming of what could be, what they could have, what their next goals are. So, and you know, the Four of Pentacles as a person, that tells me that they're driven, they're motivated by money, probably motivated by material success. Could be headstrong, could be stubborn and controlling. But, yeah, again, I'm not thinking that's terrible. Because, with the Fool, I kind of feel like the Fool balances that out a little bit, where they're naturally curious, and they could be open to new experiences because they are curious about them, and they're wanting to see if that, this new experience could benefit them some way. So, I don't know. I know I'm probably not describing them the best, but I like your person. I would tell you I would tell you I'm not too sure about this person, but I do like them. I do. This person kind of reminds me of me, and I don't hate myself. So, yeah, I think you got a good person here. I probably didn't describe them the best, but I'm sure they have better qualities too. But these are the cards that came out. So let's see. I got the Fool again. So they're probably ready for you, ready to take a leap of faith with you, ready for this new journey to see where it could go. And they got 4 Pentacles again. Look at this. I think being motivated by money isn't maybe the best thing in the world, but it's definitely not the worst, because I kind of feel like you'll always be okay with this person, because this person will always come up with some kind of a plan to make money, because they're driven by money. They're driven by success. I think that's probably how they gauge their happiness, is by how much material success they've achieved. I kind of feel as the older they get, the less that'll matter to them. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I think this is your person. I think they always are dreaming of something new, always are daydreaming, always are wanting or striving for more, trying to figure out ways to get more, trying to find out ways to get ahead or to make an extra buck. But you know what? I don't feel like your person's cheap. Okay, sometimes this person holds on to money, but they might be frugal, but I don't think they're cheap. I think that they do spend money when they want to. So, yeah. So, but I think they're always like, all right, the more ways I can make money, the more money I can spend. I kind of feel like that's their motivation. The more vacations I can take, the more this, the more that, the bigger house I can have. They're always thinking of, success in material terms, but they're not afraid to work for it. They'll put the work in. They're not going to be like looking for handouts, for you to do the work for them. They're willing to do their part. But yeah, all right, let's get some more cards. Guidance. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. Oh, so this is saying that your person eventually is going to realize that like maybe some of the laws of the universe, like maybe laws of attraction, where you don't really have to work as hard as you think you do, that you can attract it. So when you put the divine as your guidance, if you use the divine, if you ask them for help, if you ask them for information and guidance and answers, you'll get them. So I feel like your person eventually, if they're not already there, is going to start becoming more spiritual as they get older and understand, that maybe money isn't always the best motivator. I think your person's going to get clarity as they get older. They're going to become even more wise than they already are. I think your person's very smart to begin with, but I think they're going to become even more smarter as they get older. Your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. See, I kind of feel like your person is very lucky. I kind of feel like everything does work out for them. Even when they have setbacks, like that setbacks might have put them on a different path that makes them more successful in the long run. I just kind of feel like everything works out for your person. The serpentine path to power. Yeah, I kind of feel like your person is on the serpentine path, not on the straight path. That they've had pit stops. That they have twists and turns in their life where they've had to change direction or they've had to do something different. They have had to figure out how to overcome certain obstacles because certain things have happened in their life. So I don't think your person has had a smooth sailing life, but I feel like they've conquered all of their problems. Like I feel like when they face it, like when an issue arises, they'll deal with it. Repairing the veil. Forgiveness. I think your person is very forgiving. Because you know what? They're smart. And I feel like they realize that they're not perfect. So neither is anybody else. And therefore they give people, they're generous with their forgiveness. They can't hold a grudge. They can't hold it for long. They could get mad and angry and whatever. They'll feel their feels. But once they release it and let it go, they're very forgiving. That's a great trait to have. The seer. Future prospects. Decisions to make, seeking guidance. See, I kind of feel like your person is, as the older they get, the wiser they get. They could be very intuitive. They could look more to the divine for their guidance, for their answers. I kind of just feel like that's what they do. But your person does kind of feel like an old soul. So they're probably highly connected, highly intuitive. But I feel like the older they get, the more and more that comes into their awareness, into their consciousness. They understand it more. All right, let's pull you some initials. Let's see who this person could be. B, J, Z, G, D, X, K, F, I, T, O, C, N, M, U. Alright, pile 3, that is what I have for you. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. All those things help me and I appreciate you for it. Till next time, love and light. Okay, pile 4, if you chose children, then this one's going to be your reading. But I'm going to put this aside, get some tarot. We'll come back to that. If I remember, because I've forgotten pile 3, but it's alright, it didn't make a difference. King of Swords, Judgment, the Wheel, Page of Wands, and 8 of Swords. Okay. Let's see. Well, your person's the King of Swords. So this person is calm. Could be stoic. Could be a little assertive. This is somebody who doesn't make split-second decisions. They really weigh the pros and cons. They really do. I think they're tough on themselves mostly, though, because I think that they set specific goals for themselves, and they like really get upset if they don't achieve them, or like maybe within their time frame. Like they really I kind of feel like they're hard on themselves. I feel like they don't like to be inactive. They've always got to be doing something. I think sometimes they could be judgmental. But you know what, to be honest with you, I kind of feel like they are very ethical though, like very balanced, very fair, very trustworthy. Yeah, I feel like sometimes they just like might come off like that they don't care. They do, but they might like present themselves that way because they don't like to get emotional. They don't like to get all ooey and gooey. They save that for only a very few. So eventually, if you're going to marry this person, you'll get that gooey side, but not at first. I feel like your person has a very clear vision. They take their time making decisions, but once they do, they don't second guess themselves. You know, when a fork appears in the road, they figure it out. They figure out which path they're going to take. They are highly intuitive. So I kind of feel like that's why people might see them as lucky. But I think it's because they have a connection with Source. I think they kind of listen to their intuition and they listen to their gut feelings. And their gut feelings are always right. I think they are drawn to people who are good, people who are fair, and they don't like the people who are manipulative and conniving. They stay away from those people. I feel like your person is been through a lot for some reason. That might have, hardened their shell just a little bit, but not too much. I think they're a big softie on the inside. The Page of Wands is someone who can be young at heart at times, may have a hard time following through on a lot of their ideas. They probably have a lot of ideas, but they probably don't follow through on all of them. They could get easily distracted at times. I know it kind of sounds the opposite of the King of Swords, but I kind of feel like they have a little bit of both of these qualities in them. Like they at times welcome new opportunities, but they definitely, they like to learn, they like to grow, but they definitely do it in a more logical way. They're not as immature. Like I hate that word because that sounds so negative. I don't mean it in a negative way. They're not as young. They're more of an old soul, right? They don't look at things through childlike wonder, even though they get excited to learn new things and they have a lot of ideas. They're not as enthusiastic as this page might normally be because they have a lot of the King's stoic qualities. So this is a person who, at Christmas time, when you give them a gift that you know they're really going to like, you're really not going to get the reaction that you think you're going to get. Yeah, it's not because they don't love your gift. They love your gift, but they'll be like, oh, thanks. They're not going to be like jumping up and down screaming, oh my God, like they're not that kid, they're not that person. They're the person that's, thank you, I appreciate this. And you might feel a little disappointed at their reaction because you thought you were going to get a better reaction. But again, it's not that they don't feel it, it's just they don't really show it. So, yeah, don't get disappointed in your person because I feel like your person's a really, really good person, and I feel like they have a huge heart and that they would be willing to do a lot for the people that they love. but they're not going to be as enthusiastic as you might want them to be. I feel like they do worry a lot, though. I feel like they have some insecurities. I feel like your person's been through some things. So they do have some insecurities, and they do worry a lot. But I feel like sometimes they make things out to be worse than they actually are for themselves. So they have their walls up a lot. They protect themselves from rejection a lot. But with the right person, they'll let those walls down. But this is probably a person who needs to talk about their feelings. Like, they're not the type of person who wants to talk it to death, but they want to make sure that they're on the same page, or you understand where they're coming from. They want their point to get across, and they want to hear your point as well, because they do want to understand things. They like knowing things. They rather know things than not. This is a person who likes communication. They do not like secrets. Secrets are going to be your downfall if you are a Scorpio, because Scorpios like to keep secrets. This person doesn't take kindly to that. They need to know everything. Everything. They're better capable of dealing with something that's unpleasant if they know it than finding it out later, because when they find it out later, they feel betrayed. So not only do they feel the hurt from whatever it is that the lie was about or the secret was about, but they feel betrayed on top of it, and that makes them feel unworthy. Like you didn't trust them enough to tell them. You didn't care enough about their feelings to tell them. So that makes them feel unworthy. So secrets and lies, this person is not going to tolerate. They don't deal well with them. So this is somebody you're going to have your cards out on the table with. Because even if you tell them something they don't want to hear, something like, oh, by the way, you look fat in those jeans. Yeah, that might hurt their feelings, but they're like, well, at least you had the guts to tell me. I'll go change so I don't look fat. I don't want to look fat. I don't want to feel bad about myself, so thank you. They'll deal with it. They'll find a way to process it, and they'll be like, that was pretty rude of you to say. You could have said it in a nicer way. Like, they might get their feelings hurt, but they much rather know. Right? So, don't keep secrets. Not from this person. Awareness. Ooh, see, your person's intuitive. I told you your person was an old soul, right? They're the magician. So you know what? You're not going to be able to keep secrets from them, at least not for long. They'll figure it out because they're smart. They're intuitive, and they're probably very empathic, and they could probably sniff out a lie, any lie that's told, and they'll work on figuring out the truth. They'll be the snoop. They'll do their research. They'll figure it out. So don't lie. Do yourself a favor. Come clean. Don't lie to your person. They're the magician. Yeah, again, your person, you got transformation. Your person has been through something. They've probably been through some hard things, and their life has changed. They've had to adapt. They've had to change because they've been through transformations. I think I read that card wrong the other day. That's the death card. And I think I read it as the devil card the other day. Now that I'm remembering, I'm seeing that card. I'm like, that's the death card. I think I read it correctly, but I think I probably said it was the devil when it wasn't. Anyway, I'm sure I read it correctly because I read intuitively, not really necessarily by what the cards say. Anyway, that's not your problem. We're on your reading. I just feel like your person has been through a lot. They've probably had some major changes in their life that they've had to overcome. So, yeah, I think they've definitely tried to manifest you, though, into their life. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. See, this is your person. I told you, they're intuitive. I think they're psychic. Even if they don't know it, they don't understand. I mean, we all are psychic, but I kind of feel like they have abilities. They listen to their intuition. They listen to what their heart tells them. And their head. See, they use their head over their heart, but they listen to what their heart tells them. So they take it into consideration. And if it makes sense to them, then they go with their heart. But because it's their heart and their head are in agreement. If their heart and their head want two different things, that's where they have an issue. Because they stubbornly want to hold on to their head. They stubbornly want to be in their head. But I do feel like they know how to tap into their higher self. I think they do know how to listen. But they don't always probably follow through with that. Because I think their head, their logic wins out over that. But I do think your person has abilities. Whether they know it or not. Sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. Maybe they do know that they have abilities, because if they are dealing with this, that means that they know that even the bad things that happen are blessings. They're experiences. They're what we came here for. We came here for experiences, the good and the bad and the ugly. We came here to learn from them, to grow from them, to make the world a better place because of them. So I think your person knows how to take a negative and put a positive spin on it. Like, well, at least I learned that lesson. I won't make that mistake again. Or I won't have to learn that lesson again. Like, I think they see the good in things. Or at least they try to. Flower power. Spend some time with the flowers and flower essences to increase your personal healing power. I think your person has healed or has had to heal, has had a lot of things to heal from. I think your person's been hurt. I think they've had a lot of loss in their life, it feels like. But I still think that they're going strong. They're still going. They have their head up, and they're still a good person. It hasn't brought them down. It hasn't made them jaded and evil. They deal with it. They're smart enough to deal with it. All right, let's do children. Your love life is being altered by children, or affected by children. Affected. All right, so this is your future spouse. You're going to get married and have children, or they're bringing children into the relationship in some way. They probably already have children. Not probably. They could possibly already have children. And, they want to make sure that you love and care for their children. I get the feeling that your person's very close to their kids. They put their kids first. Probably above themselves. So you caring about their kids, if they have them, is going to be very important to them. Like you treat them like they're your own. Especially if your person's, has abilities. They're definitely going to want you to treat their children as, with unconditional love. The little owl one, wisdom as light as a feather. Your person's smart. It keeps coming up. Your person's smart. Your person's intuitive. Your person is the magician. They're connected to source. They listen. They're probably spiritual. Yep. Winter's dream. Gestation period. Could this be a past person? And what I mean by a past person is not necessarily your toxic ex. It could be somebody that you know that maybe you planted the seed a long time ago with this person and it never really bloomed. Maybe it kind of like went into hibernation. It had its gestation period and now it's coming to light, coming back up. Now it's starting to grow. Your relationship starts to grow with this. So your future spouse could be somebody you know. That there was like some kind of a timeout or non-action period between the two of you. The seeds had to germinate. They needed that gestation period before it took off. Water spirit, emotions, memory, life force. Memory. I kind of feel like this is somebody you know. I think you have memories with this person. And like I said, not necessarily a toxic ex that you've been there and done that. It could just be somebody you never had a relationship with, but maybe you wanted to, or maybe they wanted to, or maybe you just, I don't know, just were friends and that, like nothing ever happened. But I feel like you know this person enough that you have memories of them. So I kind of think the person that you're going to marry is somebody you know. Maybe not know well, but you know. You know who they are. They're not a complete stranger. All right, let's get you some initials. Oh, I'm sorry. G, V, T, M, D, O, I, H, P, L, W, X. All right, that is what I have for you, pile 4. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. All those things help me and I appreciate you for it. Until next time, love and light.